Welcome to Ascent. Today, we take a deep dive into the mind of the Divine Masculine. With me, a Divine Masculine. What more could you want? I'm going to shuffle each of these decks 3 times, and then we're going to talk about your Divine Masculine's headspace, your Divine Masculine's heart space, and then what's bothering your Divine Masculine, or what hurts the Divine Masculine the most. That's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to unpack it, and we're going to help you understand what's going on with your other half, all right? Or with your other whole self. All right, one time here. Y'all see the new deck? Do you like the new deck? Holla if you hear me. Up here, upgrading and stuff. Trying to keep y'all interested. Is it working? I'm trying different ways to make sure y'all stay interested in what I gotta say, because what I gotta say has to deal with the spirit of truth. So I'm just making sure that y'all keep y'all attention. You know what I'm saying? I gotta do whatever it takes to make sure that the message is being heard and that I keep attracting whoever's supposed to hear the message. You see me? All right, and then 2 more times here. And again, today we talking about headspace, the heart space, and then what hurts your Divine Masculine. And the object is just to get clarity so we can figure out pretty much what's going on the other side, so we can have peace in our own. Peace on our own. Okay, so we'll attack it like this. Head space, heart space hurts. What hurts? What's in the heart space? What's in the head space? What's in the head space? What's in the heart space? And what hurts? Here we go. Start from the side. I'm feeling right here. Okay. Here is what is in the Divine Masculine's head. It says, defend your beliefs and decisions. Stand your ground. Choose your battles wisely. Okay. 7 of fire. Fire is wands. Wands is passion. What passion is desire, purpose. So right now the Divine Masculine is being told, being guided to stand up for what they are. Now. This message is for the illuminated. This message is for the awakened. Then the last part right here is for general Divine Masculines, period. But the defend your beliefs and decisions, stand your ground, that's to the awakened Divine Masculines, telling them right now that what's happening is supposed to be happening. They're facing some type of contention in their lives. They're facing some type of battles. There's something going on right now that they're wrestling with in their mind, and they're being told to stay with the spirit of truth, stay with the light. That is what is being said to the Divine Masculine. This is what is going on in their head right now. There is a lot of darkness, and it is constantly attacking the light, and that is the Divine Masculine's positioning right now. That's where they find themselves, being attacked. They are under attack. The adversary realizes that the awakened state is increasing, and the strength in the spirit is increasing, and the adversary is trembling, therefore sending more attacks to hopefully knock this person off the course of the straight and narrow. That's why the message is defend your beliefs and decisions, stand your ground. Now, to the unawakened, this is the 3rd message right here. Choose your battles wisely. This is a warning of a coming tower moment. This is telling the unawakened to choose your battles, because you need to choose between the light and the dark. Who do you serve? That's a popular question for me to ask people about others in their lives. Who do they serve? And it's apparent by the actions. The tree is known by its fruit. If you got a bad jit, the kid acts bad. So you understand that it's inside of them. Choose your battles wisely. It's so imperative that the Divine Masculines that have not yet come to the light understand that the way that they move is being clocked and that they'll have to answer for it. And that the longer they choose to ignore the light, the heavier of answering they'll have to come up with. They'll have to come up with more answers because, again, this is the age of information. There's very few people out there that don't know what's going on. They've just made decisions or have not made decisions, and in their indecision have made a decision. Again, it's important to know who you're dealing with, and more importantly, who they serve. And again, it's so apparent in their actions. Again, the message is defend your beliefs and stand your ground to the awakened, to the unawakened. Choose your battles wisely. All right, and this is the message right now for the Divine Masculine headspace. All right, moving right along here. In the hot. What's going on in the hot, huh? Let's see what the new deck has to offer for the hot space. Oh, I got a 4 of clubs and a 4 of wands. Right now, there's a lot going on with the passion, with the desire of the Divine Masculine, where they're feeling a drive. They're feeling some type of pull, some type of push. There's something going on in their spirit right now that's forcing them to assess where they're at and make some different choices or do something different. Again, the universe is giving them an opportunity to be and do more than what they have been and doing. The 4 of wands, that is the one with the finish line. It's a goal. It looks like a finish line. It looks like the path it's etched out already. It just needs to be walked. But for some reason, the Divine Masculine is always going left, going right, when they should be straight and narrow. So what's going on in the heart space is that they're fainting from the idea that they can earn happiness and joy and be content in their lives. They're battling the idea of joy. They don't know if it's for them. And if they think it is for them, they're skeptical about it because of the way that they were brought up, because of what they've seen, because of what they've experienced. All these different things play a role in their inability to see the future and the possibility that it could be a positive view. There's a heavy energy when it comes to a Divine Masculine that can't even see good. And I know that energy all too well. Sometimes I still struggle to formulate an imagination. And it's because I was stripped of my chances to have an imagination as a child. Because there was so much to do. I had to focus. There was no time for any imagining or any envisioning or any of this stuff. That only came around when The Secret came around, where Bob Proctor just started talking about you gotta be able to envision these things in order to see yourself in these positions and then take that role to make that outcome happen. So again, I'm more than aware of this type of outlook about where the heart space is, about is it really attainable, and if it's attainable, how can I do it? So this is what the Divine Masculine is trying to figure out, and it's imperative that they choose the spirit of truth way rather than the way of the world in order to try to attain this, because in the route taking is where they'll either be doing well, setting a good example, or they'll be doing it in a selfish route, just not caring about anybody else involved in the process. So we see that this comes right on the heels of choose your battles wisely. Choose your battles wisely. So again, this message is for both the awakened and the unawakened. This is what they're struggling with on this one. Now back here, the 4. Y'all know me, this is a new deck. I'm not scared to look up what it means, trying to figure it out. make sure y'all are up on the correct information. Solid foundation, stability, celebration. Yeah. Again, the lack of vision, the lack of being able to see down the road, and then for that picture to not be there, one, and then for two, if it is there, for it to not be a happy picture, it takes away from the momentum. It takes the wind out of the sails of the divine masculine to not have a happy ending in store or in mind for themselves. It's so hurtful, it's self-defeating. And speaking about hurtful, let's just roll right into it. 7, 7. Now, this is what hurts. The fact that their mind has been inundated with all the forms of propaganda in the world. There's so much, their media outlets, people, there's so much going on that the mind of the divine masculine is everywhere, and that's what's hurting. The thoughts are all around. The fact that they have to regain themselves and unlearn things that have been hurting them, that they thought were there to assist them. All of these, the earth-shattering, complete 180 flip that they're gonna have to do is what hurts. The fact that the people that were in their lives, they thought they had their best intentions or best interests in mind, and yet they were being selfish. So now the divine masculine has to regain all of the mental faculties that were put in the wrong hands. They trusted the wrong people. It's unfortunate, but it's true, and we're dealing with the ramifications of that. So that's why it's important to be able to give the divine masculine room to work through these things, because there's nothing that the divine feminine can do to help with this scenario, because at the end of the day, the divine masculine just sees another 3D being because of being not privy to the spiritual warfare side of things. There is a level of confusion and just blanket force field around the divine masculine. They put it around themselves in order to protect themselves. And again, it comes as a result of everybody they've known, experiences that they've gone through. Everything that the divine masculine is there for a reason. There's something happened in their lives to make them the way that they are. And the way that they are has survived however old they are, however many years they've been on this planet, with the type of evil and lies and deceptions that's out there. They managed to survive. So again, there needs to be a level of compassion for these individuals that have not been awakened, but yet still have managed to survive, and that are needing to turn to the light, but still, for lack of not having it, have managed to survive thus far. Now we need to take everything that they are and just adjust it so that who they are is a vessel for the light instead of a vessel for themselves or the vessel for darkness. And being a vessel for themselves, doing whatever they want to, is a mode of darkness. So again, the alignment needs to be with the spirit of truth, period. There are no ifs, ands, or buts. And if an individual is not aligned with the spirit of truth, it shows in their actions. Again, a tree is known by its fruit. So, 7 of Fire is displaying the passion that needs to be burning for the kingdom. Period. There needs to be an adamant nature about these types of individuals, and that perspective, that lens is becoming more and more clear. That perspective is becoming more and more clear to the divine masculine. And again, for the unawakened divine masculine in this perspective, to choose the battles wisely, it's a warning. It's a warning call about how they're operating right now, and the fact that their operations, their initiative, their motives are selfish. They come from a place of just trying to satiate a void within themselves, and they have that void because their mind has been scattered in so many different places. They don't know what to believe, and that not having a belief also affects the belief that the outcome, that further, that the more and more we live this life, that things will get better. That belief is eradicated once this hurt is known, once this hurt is felt. All dreams and such are dashed away, and it becomes a sore spot to talk about, or to have somebody talk about happiness or things getting better or any type of positivity. It becomes a sore spot. I'm telling you what I know. It becomes a sore spot, and they want to lash out at whatever is happy or whatever is not. Misery loves company. And in that same regard, that happens to the divine masculine when they have been through so much hurt because of people lying to them, deceiving them, getting their way from them, just doing whatever it takes for them. The divine masculine has adopted that type of mentality, and that mentality is crushing them and crushing their heart space of where they want that happiness. It's murking the heart space. This pain overshadows where they're at. All they can think about is their pain. That's it. That's all they're focused on. And that's why your divine masculine is always running around like a chicken with his head cut off. It's because they're trying to mask that pain. They're trying to make sure it doesn't hurt so bad. They're trying to feel better, but they know, or they feel that they can't have this, and they can't see it for themselves. So they go and get very, very quickly what they can see that will make them feel a little bit better. A pseudo Four of Wands, Four of Clubs. It feels similar enough to what I thought would make me happy. And unfortunately, that's more readily available to them than the cultivation of the down the road vision and seeing themselves happy. The way that people were to them is the way that they are, and that's why it's imperative for the divine feminine to be different and to stay separate from everything the divine masculine has known, which is people telling them how to live their lives and what to do, or telling them that they're wrong, or telling them that they can be better, or telling them that they know that, they're aware of that. They don't need people telling them that. And a lot of times that's what the divine feminine falls into. And then there's a level of frustration with the divine masculine that is unaware that they can be better. They're not unaware. They're just frustrated that they don't know how to make it happen. What's going on with the divine masculine is this is a cyclical thing. This hurt, this lack of being able to see down the road, this is a cycle. This is a cycle. And choosing the battles is what is keeping them in this cycle. They're choosing unwisely. They continue to put faith and hope in other people and what other people think, rather than assessing themselves and assessing their world and then finding out how to change it and how to adjust it and how to make it work for them. They're satisfied right now taking the blows and rolling with the punches. They feel like that's what being a divine masculine is about. That's how you represent your masculinity, by showing that you're unfazed by traumas and situations that would normally derail anybody. But there's this notion that if you're not able to withstand the pressures of life, then you're not a divine masculine, then you're not in your masculinity, then you're feminine. And that's this is directly pertaining to the divine masculine nature now. I'm not talking about actually being a divine feminine. I'm saying that divine masculines are categorized as divine feminines if they are not in their masculinity, if they are not taking care of what they're supposed to be taking care of. That's where we get toxic in this manosphere talk, and the waters get muddy around there. That's why it's so important to align with the spirit of truth, because there's so many different options. There's so many different viewpoints. And everybody is right in their own way. And that's why the water is so muddy, is because everybody is technically right. Everybody is voicing their truth based off of their experiences. How can we tell them that what they have experienced and what they have concluded and how they live their lives now is wrong? That is wrong to tell them that they're wrong, right? You're telling them that everything that they have built up until this point is stupid, pretty much, for lack of better terms. And that message is received as abrasive. And that's why it's important for the divine masculine to reclaim this on their own without the help of the divine feminine, because they'll see the divine feminine with that blanket force field as just like everybody else, just a 3D person. That's all they see, because they're not up on this spiritual warfare game. They're not awakened to their journey in that regard. So all they're seeing is a 3D person. Yeah, you talk a little bit differently, but at the end of the day, you're still a 3D person. Yeah, there's something unique about you. Yeah, there's this emotion surrounding the energy between you two. Yeah, there's this magnetism. Yes, there's electricity. But at the same time, you're still a human being. And many, 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 many human beings have done this individual that you're thinking about wrong. And that's why they act the way they act, because they have had to survive darkness. And now they have an introduction to the light, and you blinded them. You blindsided them. And then with your light, you blinded them. And now we're walking away from the light to go into the darkness to pull them to the light. But in doing so, we're losing our light, because we're walking away from the light to go to the darkness to retrieve the person in the darkness. And that is why the divine feminine appears, based off just the force field, as just another 3D individual. I'm telling you, what happened with me and Grace is Grace saw that I was pretty much damn near a wounded dog, and she had to let me come to her. Period. There was too hurt. There was too many people that had done me wrong, starting with my family. And if you don't have family, what other possibility could you possibly have? And this is the idea as a jit coming out now. Like, if you ain't got your family, who else do you have? Bro, it's crazy that I've managed to survive this long, being an outcast and being so popular with everybody else, but still not feeling like I'm a part of things, because the one group of people that were supposed to accept me no matter what and supposed to love me no matter what discarded me as if I was a burden. So in that same regard, how can you, as somebody that's not blood, that is supposed to be the most important thing, how can you call yourself trying to be any different when from the human perspective, blood is thicker than water? My own family did not value me. So how can you as a stranger then value me, being that my own blood did not value me? So that's why they're so confused, and that's why you have to allow your divine masculine to see you as set apart and different, and allow them to approach you. That is how a divine feminine is supposed to operate. The ones that do the chasing and the courting are supposed to be the masculine figures. The one that does the running behind the other one is supposed to be the masculine figure. So if you find yourself running behind your divine masculine, you need to check yourself. And I say this with absolute calm in my voice, and I say this with nothing but love, because what you're doing is it's not for your role. Your role is to be higher up. That's what the divine masculine is looking for, not more of the same. Choose your battles wisely. That's where the divine masculine is in the headspace. They're trying to choose and decipher between who you say you are and what you do and who you show you are. Huh? What? Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're being assessed as well. For every thought you have about the divine masculine, your divine masculine got thoughts about you too. Your divine masculine is watching you. Your divine masculine is keeping record of you and what you say versus what you do, versus the energy that you send out versus the energy that you bottle up within in disdain for the divine masculine in their current spot. Your divine masculine feels that energy. I don't want you to think that we don't, because we do, okay? And that's why we tend to stay away from you sometimes, because we know that you hold a record of our shortcomings, okay? Don't nobody want to be around somebody that's constantly clocking them, bruh. You hear what I'm telling you? Take it from a divine masculine. Don't clock me, bruh. Huh? Okay. And I'm telling you that because that's the energy that your divine masculine is feeling, because that's the energy that I felt when I was in that position before I was with the spirit of truth. Now I know that it's about accountability, but that it still has to be the spirit of truth that gives that information to the divine masculine, because again, of that blanket force field, the divine masculine is untrusting of people, of humans. If you have a body, if you are made of meat, you are untrustworthy to a divine masculine. Okay? Okay. Don't get offended. Listen and figure out how to change it. The solution is to move in the spirit and foregoing the flesh and foregoing the meat suit and living in the spirit, and that shines through. And that is how you show your divine masculine that you're a 5D even though you're still in a 3D body. That is how you do it. You don't know how to do it? Ask Fiery Grace. Keep following me. I keep giving it away every reading. I'm telling y'all how to do it. I know it's counterintuitive. I know it goes against what you've heard. 9 out of 10 readers tell you that whatever you're doing is the right thing to do. I'm telling you to do the opposite, and that people that have tried it this way, the way of the spirit of truth, have flourished. Their lives have changed for the positive. They are no longer burdened by the indecision of the divine masculine and the inaction of the divine masculine, the frustrations of the divine masculine. The lack of vision is going to continue to be a sore spot for the divine masculine. And as long as they fester on this in their heart space, they won't be able to get out of their own way. But as soon as they get out of their own way, they'll be at a position where they can be open to the opportunity for the spirit of truth to come in and give them yet another opportunity to avoid the tower moment. And that's why there's a cautionary choose your battles wisely, because if the divine masculine keeps moving in the way of the world, moving in their fleshly way, doing whatever they want to do, instantly gratifying themselves, satiating that void within them that is not in the right way, if they keep doing that, there will be a tower moment. There will be, in order to correct their path, because they're going down the wrong way. And the universe needs as many people for the light to spread the light as possible. And that's why it will continue to reach out to your divine masculine and send tower moments to the divine masculine, to let the divine masculine know that what they're doing is not the right way. Even though their intentions are to create some type of happiness, the way they're going about it in the path of the dark is not the right way, and they will be thwarted each and every time, unless they've completely sold out to the adversary, and then the spirit of truth gives them up to whatever they desire. But for the ones that are contending between the indecision and the light, there will be constant opportunities. And even for the ones that choose the way of the adversary, the universe will not neglect them. They will give them opportunities until their days run out, until their breath leaves their body for the final time. They will consistently have opportunities as well. But they will also be given up to whatever they want, to show them that what they want is not the right thing to want. And the only way to do that is to give it up. Let them see it for themselves. The same way that, unfortunately, the divine feminine, if they don't take my advice, the same way it happens to them, they'll continue to see that the way they are going, the way those other 9 readers are telling them to go, but this 10th reader is telling them, no, don't do that. No, don't do that. You've done it a lot of times. You've done it 9 times and it didn't work that way. Try it this way. And you'll continue doing it that way until the frustration gets so cripplingly hurtful that you will try another way finally. That's the same thing for the divine masculine. If they choose the way of the adversary, which is not believing, not doing the spirit of truth, not moving in the light, if they continue to choose that way, they'll be given up to that way. And when they get mistreated by the adversary, and when they don't get what they want from the adversary, because the adversary is just an imposter of the spirit of truth, when the adversary cannot deliver, one of two things going to happen. They go run out of breath with the adversary, and then it's over for them. Or two, the adversary is not going to deliver, and they'll have enough breath in their body to realize that they can still make a change and move to the spirit of truth. And that is what the spirit of truth is holding out for. It will always be there ready for the divine masculine to choose as soon as the divine masculine turns around and even thinks about the spirit of truth. The spirit of truth is living in response, ready, the same way the divine masculine should be. The spirit of truth is always working. Your divine masculine is currently being worked on. I want you to know this for a fact, because there's a lot of hope being lost, and that doesn't need to be the case, because everything is working for your good. And again, I like to say that the best thing that you could think about doesn't even make the top 10 list of the best things that the universe has to replace that thing that you thought was the best. All right? The universe is almighty and powerful, and there is nothing that it cannot do, and it wants to make you happy. The only person stopping it is you. The universe wants to make you happy, and it's all powerful, and it's perfect, and it can make you happy, but only if you yourself want to be happy. And unfortunately, that takes doing things differently than what the majority of people are telling you to do. And that takes a leap of faith. It takes trust. But that starts with small steps, small baby steps. Another thing I want to point out real quick is on both sides here is 11. So in the heart space, we see the lack of vision and the lack of seeing that there could be a positive outcome is affecting both what hurts the divine masculine and the mind space of the divine masculine. So saying that to say that whatever's in the heart, it comes out, it seeps out. What's in the heart is the tree. What's in the heart is the tree, and the fruit is what comes out of the mouth from the heart. And what comes out of the mouth from the heart is how you tell if that tree of person is good or not, that tree person is good or not. A tree is known by its fruits. A person is known by their words and actions. On both sides, we get 11 for this entire reading. That's saying something. That's saying that as long as there's a dissonance in the heart, a disconnect in the heart, as long as this space is not cleared up, as long as there's a hate in the divine masculine, there is going to be suffering. there's going to be suffering, because the only way to release that hate is to align with the spirit of truth, or to deal out that hate and make other people hate you, and that makes that person feel good. So it was just interesting to see that at the center of it all is the heart, and that it's what's in the heart ultimately that determines what kind of person you're dealing with. All right? Cool little frozen beans. If you need a personal reading, I do 30 minutes and hour longs at MrLightWork.com. I got 45-minute phone calls. I have live reading sessions. I got exclusives. I got it all. However you receive information, I got personal insight videos. Whatever mode that you receive information on, I'm trying to get there too, so I can deliver the spirit of truth to you. That is my goal. That's why I'm here. I appreciate you letting me borrow your ear. And I hope this message resonates. I know it'll change your future if you allow it to. Will you allow it? See you next time. Love.